Well, we continue with the broadcast this morning right here on Salam Media. Now to introduce to you the Africa Muslims Agency fundraising dinner for Palestinian and Syrian refugees. And we're going across now to be joined by the regional manager of Africa Muslims Agency, Hafiz Hussain Choonara. Hafiz Hussain, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jummah Mubarak to you and welcome.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Brother Inayet, and to all the listeners and viewers of Salam Media.
Yes, Alhamdulillah. Once again, it's the time when we are talking about another fundraising dinner for a worthy cause, Palestinian and Syrian refugee children. And I know MA has been working for a long, long time, in these areas, and the Amman School of Excellence actually comes to mind. And there's just so much that you are doing as AMA in that part of the world, Hafiz Hussain.
Alhamdulillah, it's 1 year already, Alhamdulillah, Brother Inayet, that we know 10 Syrian Palestinian refugee children. I think most Salam Media was a key partner on the tour exactly a year ago, where children from the Syrian and Palestinian refugee camps were brought to South Africa and toured South Africa to share their dreams, to share their goals, but to share the pleas of hundreds of other Syrian and Palestinian refugee children that are left back in the refugee camps that required education at Amman School of Excellence in Lebanon. Alhamdulillah, it's been 1 year already, and we've seen since the tour a number of children, alhamdulillah, from different camps through sponsorship. Alhamdulillah, the mercy of Allah and generosity of donors, these kids have been able to attend school to achieve high level education at the school, alhamdulillah. So that's been 1 year. So the dinner happening next week in Durban, 9 September at Orient, like you mentioned, Brother Inayet, is a fundraiser because the capacity is increasing. There's a huge number of kids that still want to go. There's a huge number of kids that wake up in the camp and see the other children go to school and also long to receive an education. And of course, the increase in facilities, the upskilling of staff, that's all important. So that's why the fundraising dinner is happening next week, inshallah.
Well, definitely. And also, I'm just actually reading in terms of what the Amman School of Excellence has had to offer to these learners, apart from just being an education. It is about, making sure that the facilities are there, the resources are there, library, and, looking at, I'm even looking at, it says, speaks of a robotics and coding lab. Now, obviously, this is taking education at the highest level for these children, who have been so vulnerable, who never had a dream at one point in time, but are given a chance to excel in all these areas.
Absolutely. Can you imagine that? There was, there's many hundreds of kids that attend, and many of them have their own stories. Just 2 years ago, some of these kids woke up in a camp with uncertainty, with hopelessness, wandering around the campsite, being vulnerable, open to abuse. Their fathers, if they have a father, physically challenged, unable to work. Young girls at the age of 12 and 13 would go into the fields and find work. And of course, young girls would get married at the age of 12 and 13. Otherwise, they're open to abuse. And of course, the family is unable to look after the children. So for them, the struggle every single day was survival, having food. How are we going to survive the winter? Waking up and seeing your fellow sibling frozen. These are the conditions and the circumstances these kids woke up every single day with. But like your kids and my kids, they also have dreams to be a surgeon, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever to be a football player, dreams just to draw, just to sketch, take a pen and write, dreams just to play and be a child for a moment. And that's where the Amman School, Amman means safety, and that's where the Amman School comes in, because it provides a space of safety, of high-level education, of coming together of kids like a family, of belonging. And it's amazing to see the confidence that each child over the past years, for the past 3 years now, alhamdulillah, they're growing in confidence in themselves as human beings in engagement. And yes, as you quite rightly mentioned, Brother Inayet, we're introducing subjects like coding and robotics, other technological advanced subjects. And to see these kids from where they've come from and where they are now and how they're growing. and to see the difference in change in atmosphere is absolutely incredible. And it's beyond just the change of the child. Think about it. It's the you change the family situation, you change a generation. We always say, education is the key. But how is education the key for a young child when they're hungry, when they don't have shelter, when they don't have clothing? And that's why these sponsorships of kids at the Amman school plays such an important role, because it provides the opportunity for that to change.
Hafiz Hussain, I like what I see on this banner, and you speak about one step closer. And this is what this fundraising dinner is all about. And it is definitely a step closer to realize their dreams. Now, just take us through the dinner, the highlights. And now that you are taking this dinner, obviously, to Durban, the Orient Islamic School Hall.
Absolutely. Orient Islamic School Hall, 9th September, obviously limited seating. And what's going to happen at the dinner, inshallah, at 5 p.m., the venue will open up into an exhibition where you'll be able to walk straight into, I don't want to give too much details away, but you'll be able to come with your families and walk straight into a refugee tent. And as you pass through this tent, you'll be able to be taken through a whole process of seeing from where a child would come from and how this change happens into the Amman school and beyond. There'll be an exhibition there for you to experience, get to smell, taste, feel, get to interact, and understand what does one step closer means to a child's dream who didn't have access. For who come from a refugee camp. So most of these kids born in the camps. And then, of course, there'll be a dinner where you'll have access to speakers like Qari Yaish Ali, who's performed Taraweeh in the camps the past Ramadan. He's been at the Amman school. He'll be one of the keynote speakers as well, with Brother Ashraf Gangrika, amongst others. And there'll be some, there'll be some exhibits of art, of paintings from refugee children who've been sponsored through the donors of Africa Muslims Agency, Alhamdulillah, where they've drew amazing, incredible art pieces beyond all our capabilities. And you get the experience and purchase this. But of course, the main aim is to sponsor more children to attend the Amman school, and of course, sponsor towards in its capacity, inshallah.
Well, definitely, and I see the sponsorship cost is at around 19,200 rand for an entire year. And considering what we actually pay for school fees in this country, a lot less. But I think at the end of the day, when one looks at the benefits, when one looks at the value, when one looks at the reward, just to see this poor refugee child excelling and making his or her way in life for a better future, all of that at the end of the day is just money for value, money well spent, and rewarding not only in this world but rewarding in the year after as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's beyond just going to school, like you quite mentioned, brother. It's about for these kids. It's a story behind. It's a change. It's a trajectory change for themselves and their family. It's about giving an opportunity for themselves, and it's a sadaqah jariyah for the donor, not only for the sponsorship of the child, but for the impact that that child has on their families for perpetuity. This is the opportunity Allah gives us all to earn His mercy, a sadaqah jariyah, to donate towards sponsoring a child or donate towards the child. So you can sponsor a child and we give you the profile, we give you feedback, we build a relationship between you and the child, or you can sponsor towards it as well. And if you're in Durban, I would encourage you, please connect. Details are on our social media pages. Connect with our Durban office. The Young Smarts Highway showed limited tickets. Demand is there. Alhamdulillah, I would encourage you to come with your families, come with businesses, and come and enjoy an evening and be inspired as you take one step closer to being part of a process to allow Syrian and Palestinian refugee children to achieve their dreams, inshallah.
Yes, Hafiz, and just to reinforce for our listeners and our viewers this morning that this fundraising dinner is taking place on the 9th of September at the Orient Islamic School Hall. It features Nilafur Said as well, Adila Vahid, and you can actually go onto the website and you will get all the information. Hafiz Hussain, we wish you well. We wish AMA well. Allah accept, Allah reward your efforts. I know it's been a long, hard journey. It's been, but at the end of the day, it's also at the end of the day very, very rewarding. Alhamdulillah, and Allah Taala reward you and the entire team of AMA for this wonderful work that you have been doing. And at times, I know it hasn't been easy, but at the end of the day, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala chooses whom He pleases, and Alhamdulillah, Allah Taala has chosen you and everybody else at AMA to do this wonderful work. At the end of the day, we are talking about orphans. We are talking about our Sharia responsibility towards working for the benefit of our mankind, of mankind, hukukullah, hukukul ibad, and these are the rights of these children, these vulnerable children in these refugee camps that we need to fulfill.
Jazakallah, you're quite right, Brother Inayet. Allah accept from everybody, all the listeners, the viewers, the staff, Salam Media, for always giving us the opportunity for sharing. Allah bless you. In this medium, someone might hear, someone make a dua, someone might donate. May all that be for your reward as well. Allah accept the niyyah of every single donor who supports and continue to support. And bless them, protect them on this beautiful morning of Jummah, wherever you are. Allah bless you immensely. Allah reward you, protect you and your families, and always use you, whatever capacity, whatever means, always use you to serve others, because we know Allah doesn't need you and I to change any situation, but He gives us these opportunities so for our benefit. And may we all receive the benefit that Allah promises. Jazakallah for having us.
Ameen, Ameen, Jazakallah, and have yourself a wonderful Jummah ahead as well. Jazakallah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hafiz Hussain Choonara was this morning. The AMA dinner, just to reinforce, it's taking place on the 9th of September at the Orient Islamic School Hall. The exhibition opens at 5 p.m. Get your tickets, go to the website, and you will get all the information and details. We're going to go for a break. We'll be back.